Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Sword of the Stars 2. There's a new recording session. I seem to be done this turn. Let's move on to the next turn. I'm excited to be continuing this game. We are finally moving into the part where we get to design our first ship. Actually, between recording sessions, I was kind of thinking about this playthrough a bit. And so we went for the missile point defense, and then it occurred to me, well, okay, what kind of, basic fighting ship are we going to design here? And the obvious choice is, you just make an armor cruiser. But one of the issues that we've had so far is that we're fighting against the Sulkan. Their ships are really fast, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with them. So then it occurred to me, duh, I should totally make my own battle rider carriers. In fact, I quite like the Soul Force battle riders. They're pretty good, and I can make this work with going ballistics, and we're going to use sniper cannons, which are these guys over here. It'd be nice if this research actually completed one day. These guys over here. These guys are like a really long-range ballistic guns. They fit in small turrets, but of course you can double them up in medium and heavy turrets. So yeah, we're gonna go ballistics, and we're gonna use sniper cannons, and obviously AP rounds, and battle riders. So more details on that later. Of course, we have to get there, and in order to get there, we gotta actually get this research to finish. Okay, let's, we got some stations being built. Oh yeah, another thing was we were concerned about, well, not super concerned, but a fleet can just patrol here. Or actually, this fleet can relocate back here, I guess. Say hello to that fleet when it gets there, and just in case they do another attack. Let's check the economics and the government. So we're doing great in terms of budget. Stimulus is fine. Good. Okay, we're fine. It occurred to me that we might want to it might, like, sometimes you can try to hover down here during, like, a building phase, because it will decrease the cost of the ships, and then come back up for, like, an economy phase. But actually, this mercantilism is good for prototypes, so we're going to definitely stick to mercantilism for a while, because we're going to need to prototype a bunch of ships. So basically, never mind that. Okay, come on, no pething. You can do it. There's probably a combat going on somewhere in the background. Is why this turn processing is taking so long. There we go.
Is online, Director.
Oh, and we built a new station. Okay, the fact that this is constantly showing as damaged is really bothering me. So I'm gonna dissolve this fleet. Repair it again, even though I know it. Oh, no, see, it did find the one little thing that was not repaired. Whatever, we're gonna recreate it. Was this a defender? Yeah, that was a defender. So fleet 1. Okay, I was gonna say, we still haven't gone. See, it's still... There must be some weird database glitch going on here. We built a freighter. Oh, this is wrong. There we go. We need to upgrade these civilian stations. Science. We got another science station. Let's take a look. What do we have for science stations so far? We have engineering, ballistics, This is going to be industry. So then, what do we do for this one? Let's take a look. In the next few turns, I'm going to research, once the drives are finally finished, I am going to go research this technology quickly, but it's very quick, so it won't take long. Let's see, industry we've got. C3 is an option. I'm definitely going to get this, and later there's more stuff we want to get. That's a bit more of a long-term thing. Oh, well, I mean, I wanted to get battle riders, but I don't need a whole station devoted to it. There's some upgrades to battle riders, I think. But not here, in terms of speed. Yeah, I'm not, eventually, yes, I do want torpedoes. Energy is, I guess, good. Energy, or we could go missiles. I do, Well, eventually, of course, we're going to get all of these, right? But I guess for now, energy. Sure. Let's make it an energy station. Energy technology. Okay. And yours, yeah, we're just patrolling here.
Get me that vector. We've got orders to intercept.
And please, please, please finish node pathing. So node pathing is the Soul Force drive upgrade. I think pretty much every race has... Well, so in the tech tree in general, there's like a higher tier of technology, which is unlocked after you research antimatter in the energy tree. So let me show you that right now. In energy technology, once you research reinforced containment, there's a technology up here which is antimatter. And that's like late game. I mean, you can get it pretty early, but it unlocks like a whole bunch of technologies elsewhere. So if we were to continue in researching, let's say, ballistic weapons, we can unlock all of these, but there's further weapons up here that are only unlocked once you unlock antimatter. And it's basically the same thing across the spectrum, right? There are weapons that you can only get once you go to antimatter. And as well as, like, not just weapons, but all across the board. So that's an important technology, obviously, to get. Now, once you unlock antimatter, you get... Now, actually, what I am going to research right now is this guy here. I'll come back to this in a second. And let me show you. You get a new engine section, which is the antimatter engine section, which makes your in combat speed faster and also your faster than light speed faster. Now, every race has in the drive... Oh, that's not where I want to go. Has in their drive technology tree an upgrade to their warp drive, to their faster than light drive. But it always comes after antimatter technology, except for Soul Force, who get it before. So that's pretty cool. So right now, any new ships we design, we're going to put the node pathing fusion engine. If you take a look down here, FTL node speed 9, and now FTL node speed 12. So we go much faster. Also, we actually go faster in combat too. See, 125 goes up to 130 top speed. And finally, take a look at here. The armor rating, 240 and 560, goes up to 280, 600. So it's even a bit tougher, this section. So an all-around upgrade. Now, the next little technology that I researched is going to add an optional upgrade here, which is going to increase our supply. So I'm definitely going to get that. And the reason I'm getting that right away is because once I have those two upgrades, I said I wanted to upgrade civilian stations, so let's do that. Once you have those two upgrades, then that's a good time to redesign your civilian ships, because I don't need to wait for guns or armor. Those ships wouldn't use those, but I do want them to move faster between systems and to have more supplies so that they can be on missions for longer. So as soon as we get that, I think this is called plasma focusing, if I remember correctly. Ooh, we got the ghost ship. This is a random encounter, but this is one of the grand menaces. Remember, there are 5. So the ghost ship, let's take a look at it. So you'll recognize the design of this ship. It's going to show up right here. I'll zoom in on it as soon as it comes in range. There it is. You'll recognize this as a human ship, a Leviathan class ship, and in fact it is the original Leviathan, Leviathan SFS-01. So the story is that this was the first Leviathan that humans built, and as it was launched in dry dock, it was like attacked immediately by some mysterious space creature, which sort of took control of it, and it like disappeared into space, and it hasn't been seen since. So this is basically like a ghost ship that wanders around, and here's what it does. It randomly appears in a system. It will go for a station. It will beeline right for a station, destroy it, and then leave the system. That's all it will ever do. If there are no stations, it will go and attack a colony. So, you know, it depends which station it kills. Now, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to destroy my civilian station, which was already at level 3, a merchanter. So that's a pain. In terms of its loadout, it is, I mean, for the early game, it's quite powerful. Obviously, it's got point defense. So it has the sort of laser, not the regular laser point defense, but there's sort of a laser beam point defense, which you unlock much later. It also has, well, obviously you can tell it's got some missiles. That's what it's shooting me with. But these beams, it's also equipped with, like, these are very heavy turrets. These are like 3, I think these are 3, I forget what these are. I guess maybe they're AP rounds. Anyways, you can tell it's bombarding my station right now. It's pretty well equipped. There we go, some laser turrets here. So, you know, it's got a lot of firepower. Now, obviously, early on, it is not worth trying to fight this ship. It will destroy you. But it is totally killable in the mid-game if you build cruisers that are designed really to take on dreadnoughts, or I guess in this case a Leviathan. And I'll talk about that maybe later on, but there are certain like weapon choices where you can make your cruisers much more effective against larger ships, obviously at the cost of them fighting against smaller ships. So yeah, so this is the ghost ship. So every time it's going to do basically the same thing. So I'm just going to fast forward now as it leaves the system. And then you just got to rebuild your infrastructure, right? So it's just unfortunate. Yeah, so that's it. Of course, eventually we'll be able to make our own Leviathans, and they will basically look like this. That is the Soul Force Leviathan. So this was Cetus, which just lost its civilian station. So that's going to affect our trade income, which is quite unfortunate. But what can you do? So there we go, we lost our civilian station. Okay, let's move to the next turn and hopefully get our plasma focusing. Once we get that, we can redesign our civilian command ship, and I'm going to redesign as well the colonizer and also the repair ship and the ships that don't really need to be fighting. I'm not gonna
successfully completed, sir.
Okay, and actually before we do that, let's choose our next technology. So yeah, I'm going to design a bunch of civilian ships now. So in terms of, what do we still have left in terms of weapons? Oh, I do want to have a cruiser, an armor cruiser, like just a brawler, basically, because you never know. So we are going to go ballistics, which means eventually I do want to research VRF systems, but we don't... We can get that later once we've built the ships, and the upgrade will still apply. So I want to research sniper cannons, AP rounds, eventually VRF, but that's later. Oh, I wanted to get an armor. Let's get this quickly. This will just make my ships tougher.
Full funding received, Captain. Thank you.
And then, so with the armor, that will... Let's do that first. Let's do this in stages. So armor is something you can't retrofit, whereas the AP rounds you can retrofit. So let's design. Let's go to design. So here's the civilian command, the existing civilian command. What we're going to do is we're going to... So let's look at the supply here. 53 out of 120. First of all, let's make it no pathing. Let's not forget. This looks like it went down, but it's because I didn't have the module selected. And let's have missiles still. And now 53 out of 150. So that's good. We might as well... Let's see, what will the supply be if we go to interceptors? 1 turn. Yeah, I don't... These ships don't need point defense. You know what? Green beamers are fine. Like, I don't even want to put one... like, because basically civilian ships... Like, they might fight off, like, those ghosts at some point, but they're not going to fight anything else off. They don't need point defense. And I want the supply to be high enough. I'm going to just, for clicking convenience, this is good. But, alright, so node pathing, plasma focusing. This is our civilian CNC. We're gonna... So, because I'm never going to need to retrofit the original civilian command, I'm just going to make this civilian command, and this is going to make it Mark II. And we need to prototype this, obviously. Let's also make our new colonizer, transport colonizer. Again, this can just be green beamers, but this is going to be node pathing with... oh, I didn't need to click it, it was already set. There we go. Standard colonizer, good, and no specific armor. So
yes, sir.
okay.
These schematics may come in.
Next, let's do the repair and salvage. Node pathing, plasma, camo, and I had this as I mean, these are never gonna fight, or they shouldn't ever be in a fighting, so I'm gonna actually just try to maximize their supply, basically, by having energy weapons everywhere. Okay, and let's make it a...
I command. We'll save
Okay,
this for future reference.
that's all for now. The other ships, I don't want to really touch because we still need to upgrade. We still need to get some more technologies before we upgrade that. So I'm going to build these prototypes.
Construction on the prototype is underway, Director.
I don't need the colony ships right now,
Very
but
promising design, Commander.
I'm not, my shipyard
Construction
isn't
on the
busy
prototype
building
is
anything
underway,
else, so
Director.
might as well do it now. And I'll delete, like it's just to have the prototype built so that when I do decide to go for Bronze and Alpha, it'll be quick and dirty. I can just start spamming those ships. The civilian command I can actually use right away. In fact, honestly, at this time, I'm kind of thinking... maybe I'm just going to scrap all the old colonizers too. Now the thing is, building colonizers shifts my government back to the left, which is not what I want. Oh, we're discovering all the fun things today. So this is another interesting grand menace called the von Neumans. The von Neumans kind of randomly attack your planets. They look like this. And they send these sort of probes to your planets. And the probes, what they do is they drain the resources from your planets. Now, what happens is they'll just keep reappearing and doing that. And they typically, you see they've got these weird like draining rays and whatnot. They also, as you can see, they've got point defense. So planet missiles are not doing much. They're not too hard to kill, but if you kill them a bunch, then they come back stronger and stronger and stronger. What is in fact happening is there is usually a secret system that is hidden from view until you have enough higher technology, scanning technology, at which point you can discover their system and try to go there and send a fleet to try to take them out, which is quite a special fight. They've got very funky ships and everything. It's actually quite special. So I'm excited that we have the von Neumans, because that will be a fun sort of mission to set for ourselves, which is to take them out. Some of the other menaces, such as, for example, the ghost ship, it's not that powerful, so it can often be taken out by some of the AI races, which would be, you know, I mean, obviously we want to do everything, right? So anyways, so we're, I'm just going to fast forward through this. So it looks like we lost the station, which is annoying. I'm not sure which station we lost. Don't tell me. Oh, we lost the civilian station again? That's terrible.
We've been painted. Critical hit prepared, Captain.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, that's really bad, actually. Okay. Well, nothing we can do about it.
System update.
We also lost some police cruisers. So, yeah, we just lost the civilian station. Let's rebuild those police cruisers.
Aye, Command. We'll have the ships out
We
in
don't
no
need
time.
to be making the goods. Let's rebuild it.
Orders received. We'll start building right away.
I feel like we probably need to... Okay, like I said, I actually am going to go ahead and scrap these. Which, you know, why did I hold on to them to scrap them now? Is a good question. I could have scrapped them earlier. I'm going to... We don't need to be making the goods anymore. I'm going to make some constructors here. I want to get a third construction fleet going.
Shipyards gearing up.
Okay. Yeah, we're losing a lot. We were at 800,000 not so long ago, if you remember. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's see if we can recover. So those were just random events, basically. Don't have much control over that. And so I think what I'm going to do is, unless the Sulka attack us in either Cuthbert or Barrett, I might play through a few turns. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'll actually play through a few turns here off camera, or if I'll continue to do everything on camera. So far, I have recorded everything and put everything in these episodes. Maybe it's best to keep doing that. Even though there might be some slower parts and where I have to like find something interesting to say. That might be better in the sense that I do want this to be the kind of series that you can use to... Is this a command? Yeah. I'm going to relocate it to Cetus so that they can command my my new construction fleet. Maybe it is better that I narrate everything. I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to think about that a little bit. And if next episode we've suddenly warped to the future, then you'll know that I decided to skip a few turns. There might be just a few turns here where I'm waiting to get some research done before I design my new ships. But you know, there's still some sort of micromanagement that can be done. So maybe I'll stick to recording everything. Anyways, if you feel particularly strongly about it, let me know. And
Eureka!
there we go. Okay, good. We got our civilian station rebuilt. And we got the armor done. So this armor is important. Let's get... What do I want before I can... Okay, let's see. If I were to... So this unlocks this armor here. Which buffs our ship's durability. I have enough to design my point defense ships, so I will be bringing... I do usually design a point defense cruiser because it does... Yeah, I can design some ships here. So here's our point defense cruiser. It uses a lot of supply because my point defense is missiles, which use a ton of supply. And I'm going to put missiles with it because although I might have some I might have some... Oh, the Enterprise is going to be a point defense ship. Sure. I'm going to have some brawler fleets, and there will be point defense ships in those fleets. But I think against the Sulka, mostly we're going to rely on battle riders, and then most of my cruisers are going to be missile cruisers that stand back. Let's design the upgraded CNC ship, where we have node pathing, magnetoceramic armor, interceptor missiles everywhere, supply here, missiles there. Now the question is, what do we put in here? Do we put more interceptor missiles? This is good. This will let your admiral survive if you destroy the ship. Our ships are not going to get destroyed, so that's not an issue. I could put more supply or just extra point defense. Well, let's stick to the extra point defense. Why not? Okay, so this is going to be our new strike force. This can be the Ark Royal 3. The original Ark Royal is never going to be retrofitted into anything better, basically. So we can keep using this line.
We'll keep this design on record.
Okay, so we can build these two ships. Oh no. This should have been a hammerhead. I did that wrong. Good thing I caught it here. So let's delete this design. This should be the Enterprise.
Design entered into naval archives.
Alright, whatever. Mark II. Yeah, that should be the Enterprise. Okay, I am going to design a new armor cruiser. Let's design the new supply, which was a Greyhound. That we can do. Because, again, the supply ship is going to be Well, here's the thing. So because I'm using a lot of bullets, some of my fleets are probably going to require supply ships to escort them. Now, if I put point defense on them, then, well, it's still 9 turns. Yeah, I think we kind of got to do this. Now the question is, do we go hammerhead for the speed? 105 down to 8 turns, or 9 turns? I think this is fine. I'd actually rather have the extra point defense missiles instead of the extra regular missiles, because their job is not to do damage. However, I am putting extra armor on these because so these ships would be in a combat fleet, and these are going to be the Greyhounds. I'm just
Yes,
kind
sir.
of I don't want
Schematics make
to
it
kind of have a million different names. Okay, so that's what we can design for now. Once I get what I'd like to, I guess what I should do is I should see if I'm going to get the sniper cannons, if I can get AP rounds, and then I will also research the battle riders, and then I can design the rest of my ships. So that's the plan. Thanks for watching. I'll see you shortly in the next episode. Take care.